Yeah, it's me, man, and today we have another tutorial today. And today, oh my, what am I saying today? Basically, we have another tutorial. This time is an extension. This is from the first tutorial, how to make a basic paper slide. So if you haven't seen that, I'll be sure to link that later. Right now, we're gonna get the second part, the mag release. And I'm gonna let you know right now, this mechanism I'm about to show you is what I use for all my paper guns that I've made that are pistols, rifles, anything with a mag release, exception of the AK variants. That's all I've been using all this time. So what you see here is what I use for all my guns so far. So let me see if I can find an example. Here we go. Like the Desert Eagle here. This one uses the same mechanism. You push, and then you push back in to reset. That's it. Yeah, the Desert Eagle isn't doing that well, but you know. Anyway, time to get to the tutorial. As you remember, recently I made a quick standalone, just a quick handle to make it, and you know, you can have all the gun parts and all that. Now we're gonna get serious, so get that away. Actually, no, we're gonna need that. So for this one, we're gonna use a piece of paper. You know, you're probably gonna need no more than 3 pieces of paper, realistically. Maybe 2 if you do it right. But I'm gonna be as generous in terms of paper usage. But in terms of that, first of all, we want to make a handle. No, you don't have to be specific, but for me, I'm going to use like half the paper. Maybe just a little bit, make one side a little bit longer than the other for reasons. You'll see why in a bit. And do that. Okay. Just fold this real quick. Bam. Okay. Here we go. Okay, good. Next, just make a random handle, like I showed you in the last one, just to make a random one. In this case, just make a basic rectangle. We were not going for any accuracy in terms of like what kind of handle we want. We just want a handle because basically I'm just trying to introduce you or show you the mechanism, not the actual way of making it. I meant like, you know, the way it works and how to make it. I meant like all that. So do that, and then next you know, you go make the other side. As so. That looks good. Okay, and then close up the other side finally, and do that. Bam! And you make yourself a basic rectangle, and there we go. Bam! There we go. So here we go, just to make a basic rectangle. Okay. So you have your basic box for the handle, and the reason why we're not using this is because inside there's some weird stuff going on, and I don't want to spend the time, and it's kind of crumpled, so just using it as a base. But here we go. Next thing you have to do is just, you know, make the usual angle if you want. I'm gonna do that here, and then what I'm gonna do next is basically make another rectangle, or yeah, rectangle. In terms of a square, that's smaller than the handle, and you'll see what I mean after this. I'm going to do this real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. What you want to do is put your magazine in and pretty much mark the place where the hole has been cut up to here, as you can see, and pretty much make a cut right there. We have done that. Next is going to be the most tricky part, at least trying to show, is to actually make the mechanism. And basically what you do is to make two tubes that go inside each other, the same as this here, and then make one block that would go here, and I'll show you that in a bit. Alright, so I know on the tubes, the first one should be the width of the handle of the gun you're making, as you can best make it. And then the second one, which is where the two will be held in, should be no bigger than the space in between the handle edge and the cut of before the cut of the hole you made for the magazine release mechanism, as you can see here. So in the end, you should have something that looks like this before everything is rolled up and made into the mechanism. Alright, so quick thing, I think I made a mistake. I just got a text on Skype. So basically, I made a mistake. I'm gonna admit it. I know I said earlier that you should make this pin match the width. I had a different mechanism in mind for later. That was for a cardboard, and that's not going to be made until later. What I meant to say is have the two tubes like I made here, as you can see, that can slide, but won't fall out easily. So it just takes some little adjustment to get that right. But basically just have that so it's kind of like easy to push in and out, but not like where if you shake it it'll fall out. And basically what I meant to say is have the tube as long as you want, basically, to the point to where it'll reach the edge of the magazine or the handle, but then have a little bit sticking out, so that way when you push it, you can cut it to the point to where the magazine will fall out. So that's what I meant to say. So sorry about that. I'm not really a perfect gun maker, as you can see, but I'm trying. So, yeah, just so keep that in mind instead. Don't do this. But I don't want to waste things, so I am going to find a way to utilize this to some degree. So I found a way to use this piece. I just flattened it a bit and basically got to the point to where I had it inside the magazine. As you can see, I'm holding off the part where I'm going to cut off, and there we go. I'm just going to hold it right here, cut it, and then attach it to the magazine release. So the way I'm going to attach it is basically just do this. Take a piece of strip of tape and just do that. You don't really need much tape, but you can reinforce it if you want, but just for the sake of simplicity, there we go. It's now been affixed to the magazine release. Trim it up a bit. That's just me. You don't have to trim it up, but I'm doing that anyway. And there we go. And then now what we have to do is attach it to the gun, like so. So I just cut the two to where the point the magazine falls out. So now, here we go. You have yourself a basic mag release mechanism. This is what I use for all my paper guns, believe it or not, and because, well, paper is strong, but unless I use the hard paper technique, it won't really handle up against actually trying to use a spring. I might try and experiment in the future for other guns, but until then, this is what I go to as my mechanism, and it works for me. It may not be the best mechanism, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure someone out there has already made a better one than me when it comes to this kind of stuff, but this is what I use, as you guys are wondering, so here we go. There we go. So that's pretty much it. That is a mag release mechanism. And show you it happening from the other side. So push that, and the magazine falls out. And usually if you do it right, you don't need weights, but sometimes, depending on the gun, you might need weights. And I just got a message again on Skype. You might need weights, but most of the time you don't. And if you do need weights, you can always either try to remake the magazine, because sometimes it might be too tight in there, and that's happened to me all the time. Most of the time, like when I was making the 1911 or the Desert Eagle, the magazines would just never fall out, so I had to make either cut it to point to where it's like barely hanging in there, or remake the magazine. And usually that happens throughout the time when you may have done something where something's pressing up against the magazine, like so. And then sometimes that happens because it's paper and it's not that structurally tight, unless, again, you're using hard paper. That stuff is like plastic. I've actually made it before, but I just didn't have the patience for it to wait for it to dry for like almost a week. Basically what I'm trying to say is before I get off and I get distracted. This is pretty much it. This is what I use for all my mechanisms. And sometimes you can get it right the first time, and sometimes you may not. If you don't get discouraged. Just learn from your mistakes, because trust me, this is pretty much how I learned on paper before I, managed to input that into cardboard. And now at least in cardboard I can make the thing reset. But on paper, still trying to learn that. But this is it. This is what I learned as a kid growing up making guns. This is pretty much like the first thing I've ever made in terms of magazine release. Because before then, it used to be the old-fashioned pull out, hold friction, push it back in, and then there we go. But now, at least now, I'm trying to show you guys what, this is pretty much, I'm showing you my experience growing up making guns. And this is pretty much one of the mechanisms I've learned and kind of helped me come a long way in terms of making guns. It may not be good, and I'll bet it's not that great, but in terms of a learning curve, learning stone, it helped me a lot in terms of my guns, so there we go. But this is it. This is pretty much the mag release system. You can, if you still have your pistol, you could always, this is pretty much our project pistol, my project pistol, in terms of showing you guys. And next up, hopefully in the future, I can show you guys how to make a open ejection port. And if you guys still have your same gun, you can hopefully see it evolve throughout the stages from just a basic paper slide to an actual paper slide with a magazine release. And after that, paper slide, magazine release, open ejection port. After that, being able to make it field strip. Well, technically the design is already inherently field strippable, but point is, you can hopefully, if you keep your pistol from day one, or if you didn't, you can make another one and then keep it, or not, it's up to you. You can hopefully see the different steps of a pistol that I use every day when I make my guns. Despite the fact they all look different, they all have the same fundamentals. Movable slide, magazine release, open slide, open ejection port, side catch, or side catch. You can make a field strip, tactical rails if you want, sights. I need to show how to make sights. Additional features like a safety here. So there's a lot of things to a pistol, but I'm just trying to show you the main fundamentals. So there you go. I hope you guys learn something from this, and hopefully I can get down to making an open ejection port on the pistol later. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is the magazine release, and there we go. So my name is Tailman. I was happy I prefer, and as always, you guys, quick, gotta reload. Put a new magazine in. Come on. And yeah, as you guys, hope you guys liked the video, and leave a comment if you want, and whatever. But point is, enjoy the video. As always, you guys, be chill. Wait, there we go.